Rest your hands somewhere on your knees or on your body. If you're laying down on your back, you might have a hand on your heart, a hand on your belly. Do what feels best to you. And if it's comfortable and feels right, you can gently close your eyes, or you might want to sit with your eyes open, just softly gaze in front of you. And just start to feel, check in, how are you feeling from head to toe? You might begin to lengthen your spine with your inhale. Use your exhale to soften and relax, just consciously relaxing the jaw, the muscles of your face, softening around your eyes. And breathing into the area around your hips and your pelvis. And if you're a visual person, you might visualize your pelvic bowl. The sit bones and the pubic bone in front. And slightly lift up the two hip bones that stick out. And breathing all the way back to your sacrum. And just feeling your sit bones that you're seated on, spreading wide and softening there, relaxing and settling into your root. And if you're laying down, settle into the sacrum, the back of the spine, and soften around the belly and feel into your pelvis. All right, open your eyes, stack your left knee on top of the right. I'm not mirroring you. And we'll start with a shoulder shrug. Relax your arms by your sides. Inhale into your upper back. Hold that breath, take your shoulders up, shoulders straight back, squeeze the shoulder blades together and draw down. Inhale into your upper back. Exhale, move the shoulder blades straight back together and down. Bend your elbows, inhale into upper back. Exhale, send the bottom tips of the shoulder blades and the elbow tips towards each other. Squeeze together and draw down. We'll go into a side bend. Take your left hand out. Inhale your right arm up and exhale into your side bend. Feel the opening across your chest and relax your shoulders and shoulder blades down. So feeding your breath in a way that feels really good to you. You might open up the rib cage. You might feel your hips, letting your right hip descend a little more into the earth, relaxing your neck, letting your head hang over to the side. You can open up the bones of your feet too. And if stacking the knees like this is challenging, you might bring in your block or your blanket to sit on. And you can always straighten the bottom leg as well. Take the next exhale and reach your top arm into neck release. So you're letting your head hang over to the side and then feel into this stretch that you're getting across your neck and the top of the shoulder. Relax your jaw and you might rotate your head. Find a good spot. You could also take your hand that's out to the side, maybe play with bringing it back behind you or forward, just finding up, down. You got to find a sweet spot, and that can shift and change. I also like to kind of move my wrist around, wiggle the fingers to get blood flow and feeling through the wrist all the way out to the fingertip. Deep breaths. And then releasing out of that, you're going to come up nice and slow. Pick your heavy head up. Stay on this side for one more moment. And inhale, reach your arms up, and exhale, take the left elbow on top of the right. And in this shape, if this is a possibility for you, you're here. If not, maybe putting the hands on your shoulders will work and lift the elbows up. You can lift the elbows and move the arm bones away from you. Stay here with the spine stacked for a breath, feeling for the strength and stability of your spine, feeling the spine growing right up out of pelvis. And if you have room to move, you'll fold forward. Welcome, Mariana. Happy you're here, my friend. So today's practice, we're moving at the rate of our breath and our body. So that can mean that, you might come forward and then find that was too much. I'm going to come back up, or I'm going to release the hands and just fold forward here. So really, I'll be encouraging you to really feel into moment to moment. How does it feel for you? What do you need to do to make this practice work for you? Back off or fire it up. And release the arms and then come up. Change the cross of the legs. One round of shoulder shrugs. Take a deep inhale into your upper back. Hold that breath. Take the shoulders up, shoulders straight back. Squeeze the shoulder blades together and draw down. Breathe into your upper back. Inhale. Exhale, move the shoulder blades together and draw down. Bend the elbows. Inhale into upper back. Exhale, send the bottom tips of the shoulder blades and the elbow tips together and draw down. Take your right hand out to the side. Bend that right elbow, drawing the right shoulder blade down. Reach your left arm up and over. Let your head hang so that you find a softening across the neck, the jaw, and it's got to feel good to you. So for less stretch, maybe you look down, including not letting the head hang. You could also do that, of course. Find out what works for you. Draw your shoulder blades down. Feel the left sit bone root a little bit more, and then get even longer on the left side of your body. Relax your jaw. Soften your eyes or close your eyes. So your focus is soft and it's internal. Feel the breath inside. And feel where you can create more space by breathing directly into feeling. On your next exhale, move the top arm into your neck release. And like you did on the other side, find that perfect spot. Move the hand back or up or down, circle out the wrist. It's creating more awareness as you move. And slow, steady breaths, gently feeling in there, feeling what's gotten stuck and how you can unstick in your practice. Oh, coming up nice and slow. You're going to pick your heavy head up, right? And then inhale your arms up. And exhale, take the right elbow on top of the left. Whatever arm variation you want to do, hands on the shoulders, or reaching the elbows. Elbows are shoulder height, and you can reach your arms away from your face. And deepen your breath here. You can always exhale, fold forward if that is available and feels like a good thing, do it. You can also release the arms if it becomes too much. Releasing your arms, if you're folded forward with the arms like that, to come up, use your hands. And then slide your way to all fours. And you'll move right into your cat. So on all fours, you want to have your hands shoulder distance apart, your knees hip distance apart, and a firm press through the shins and through the hands. You can add in any kind of movement that feels good, including more wrist stretching if you'd like it. You can wag your tail, move your hips side to side, roll out your shoulders, anything that you want to do. So I'm going to add in a little variation here to isolate the sacrum. Pick up your right foot, point the toes. You're going to send that foot over to the right, turn your gaze, look at the foot, and then follow the foot as it comes over to the left. So you'll feel how the movement of your leg also wags your tail, and isolate your breath and feeling into the right side of your sacrum. And then go to the other side. Feeling if there's a difference. For me, there's a really marked difference left to right. I feel a lot less in my left side. My left side is weaker. And when I say weak, I mean the muscles around your sit bone, deep lateral rotators, the muscles that create the external rotation, and also glute medius, glute max, that create stability. So let's come into downward facing dog from here. Tuck the toes, lift your hips up and back. And go ahead and walk it out, bending one knee and then the other, moving any way that feels good to you. From here, step your right foot forward between the hands. You always have the option to bring your back knee down if you wish. You can also grab blocks and put blocks underneath your hands here, especially if you have tighter hamstrings. You might want to grab those blocks. We're going to lift and lower the hips, whatever range of motion feels right in your body, including having the knee down where it's more of a forward and back motion, but you get just as much out of that. It really is up to you. The next time your hips go up, step back, make your way back to downward facing dog any way that feels good to your body. And then you're going to bend your knees really deeply, sending your sit bones back towards your heels, and then push forward to a plank, drawing your arm bones back, pulling the belly and reaching back through your heels. Draw your arm bones back, firm the triceps onto the arm bone there, and press into the pads of your fingers. So really spread into your fingertips and draw your chest forward and reach back through the heels at the same time. Take another 2 breaths here. Turning on the inseam of your legs, zip the legs together and reach back through the heels forward through your crown. And then lift your hips up and back. And bring your left foot forward between your hands. Same thing as before, your hands could come onto blocks. And you can raise and lower your hips. You could always have your back knee down. You can play with lifting And flexing the front foot, lifting the toes. Now the next time your hips lift up, step on back to your downward dog. Roll forward to a plank. Reach back through your heels, forward through your chest. Press into the pads of each of your fingers, almost like you're clawing, and root down that first knuckle of each finger as well. Pull the belly in, draw the arm bones back. Take 3 breaths here. Really feel the reach back of the heels, the forward motion of the crown. Your spine's in one long line. And you're also going to press the earth away and wrap your shoulders. Bring your knees down. And we're going to go into a variation of downward facing dog that adds a little bit of turbo to your dog. So from here, bend your elbows, send the arm bones towards the earth. So how I do that is I'm gonna wrap my shoulder blades. Take the shoulder blades from here, pinching in towards the spine, wrapping them, keeping the elbows bent, keeping the broadness across the back, and then coming up and letting the head hang and relaxing the neck. So we'll be here for 5 full breaths. Relax your neck, keep winging the elbows inward towards each other. If you could imagine we could fit a block between the elbows, you'd want to be squeezing that block between your elbows and lengthening the spine. Release, come on down, take child's pose for a resting breath. Sink your hips back to your heels and fold forward. All right, walk your hands in. Turn around and lay down on your back. We will be doing abs with a block, squeezing it between the thighs in a moment. So if you don't have a block, if you do have like a pillow, like a small throw pillow or a rolled up blanket, that'll do. And if you don't have that, that's cool. You can do it without. We're gonna start with elbow to knee, but starting it with the feet down on the mat. Clasp your hands behind your head. Inhale, head and shoulder blades up. Press your lower back down. Curl your tailbone up. Exhale, twist to the right. Lift your right thigh so it's perpendicular to the floor. Your elbows go towards the thigh. The thigh and the elbows do not meet. Stay here. Inhale, come back to center. Press lower back down. Curl the tailbone up. Keep the lower back pressing down, the whole lower back. Exhale, twist to the left. Pull the belly down as you lift that left knee up right over the hip. Inhale, come back to center. Press lower back down. Curl the tailbone up. Exhale, twist to the right and pull the belly down. Inhale, come back to center. Press the lower back into the mat. Curl the tailbone up. Exhale, twist to the left. Pull the belly down. You can keep doing that or adding on. Lift both feet up. The shins are parallel to the floor. Knees are over the hips. Keep them there. Inhale, head and shoulder blades up. Rest your head in your hands. Curl your tailbone up. Exhale, twist to the right. Straighten your left leg. Pull the belly down. Inhale, come back to center. Press lower back into the mat. Curl the tailbone up. Exhale, twist to the left. Straighten the right leg. Pull the belly down. Inhale, come back to center. Press the lower back into the mat. Curl the tailbone up. Exhale, twist to the right. Straighten the left leg. Pull the belly down. Inhale, come back to center. Press lower back into the mat. Curl the tailbone up. Exhale, twist to the left. straighten the right leg, pull the belly down. Inhale, come back to center, press lower back into the mat, curl the tailbone up. Exhale, twist to the right, straighten the left leg, pull the belly down. Inhale, come back to center, press the lower back into the mat, curl the tailbone up. Exhale, twist left, straighten right, pull the belly down. Inhale, come back to center, and exhale, lower down. Grab your block. I recommend taking the medium width as long as this keeps your knees in line with your hips. For me, the skinniest way is just a little bit too small, too narrow. But you do what works on your body. You want, as best as you can, the knees hip distance apart and a really good healthy squeeze around the block without it digging into the edges. If it digs into you, grab a blanket or, like I said, a pillow, something you can squeeze well. You have options: feet down, feet up, shins parallel in tabletop, or your legs straight up. Pick one of those, that'll work for you. Squeeze the block. For the start of this, you'll inhale here with your head and your shoulder blades on the mat. Squeeze the block, lift the tailbone up, then exhale, curl the head and the shoulder blades up and pull the belly down. Then inhale, lower all the way back down to the mat. Squeeze the block, curl the tailbone up, exhale, curl head and shoulder blades up, pull the belly down. Inhale, lower, squeeze the block. Press lower back into the mat, curl the tailbone up, exhale, curl head and shoulder blades up and pull the belly down. We're gonna add on to that. Keep your head and shoulder blades up now. Squeeze the block. Exhale, curl the tailbone up, twist to the right and pull the belly down. Inhale, come back to center. Press lower back into the mat, squeeze the block, curl the tailbone up, exhale, twist to the left, pull the belly down. Inhale, come back to center, keeping the twisting to side going, lengthen the tailbone up. Exhale, twist to the right, pull the belly down. Inhale, come back to center, squeeze that block. Exhale, curl the tailbone up, twist to the left, pull the belly down. Inhale, come back to center, squeeze the block. Exhale, curl the tailbone up, send both elbows to the right, pull the belly down. Inhale, squeeze the block, pressing the lower back down. Exhale, curl the tailbone up, twist to the left, pull the belly down. Do one more on each side. Try flexing your feet in whatever position your feet are in. Flex them. Pull those toes back towards the shin. And release. Bring your feet down. Keep the block where it is, as long as you can squeeze the block and have your knees hip distance apart. We're going to come into a baby bridge. So in this bridge, you're really turning on your legs. That's what this is for. And then squeezing the block turns on your adductor muscles, the inner thigh muscles. And then you can feel into your butt muscles and lengthen the sit bones towards the backs of the knees. Squeeze the block and tilt your pelvis so the tailbone curls upward. Your hip points are going to rise up towards your face. Squeeze the block, press down into your calf muscles, and we'll stay here for 5 breaths. Keep deepening your breath and spreading that breath along the length of your spine. So as you're lengthening the tailbone towards the knees, breathe all the way up to your chest and your heart, spreading collarbones, creating more space along the whole spine. And then feeling how strong your legs are, squeeze, block, and press down into your calf muscle, down into the heel. And slowly lower down. Move the block out of the way. Hug your knees into your chest. Roll to your side and come all the way up to stand. We're going to move right into sun salutations. All right, stepping up to the front of your mat. You might want to pad your knees. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Lunge, right knee back and down. Inhale, reach the arms up, long spine. Hands down, step back to your plank. Create that long line, pulling the belly in, reach back through your heels. Feel your legs, they hopefully are a little more energized along the inner leg line. Lower down from here. You can always put your knees straight down. Low cobra, inhale, bring your chest forward and up. Exhale back to downward facing dog. Lunge, right foot forward between your hands, left knee down. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, hands down, step up to the front of your mat. Inhale, ride the breath, come all the way up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Take the left knee back and put it down. Inhale, reach the arms up. Hands down. Step back to plank. Exhale, lower. You can always put your knees down first. Low cobra, inhale. Exhale, back to downward facing dog. Lunge, left foot forward, right knee down. Inhale. Exhale, hands down. Step up to the front of your mat. Inhale, come up. Exhale, hands to heart. We're going to add on some variations to this. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Step your right foot back. We're going to come into a twist. Keep your right hand down, twist open to the left. Draw the arms away from the ears so you're really spreading the collarbones. You can shift your gaze and turn and look up. And exhale, the hand down. Step back to plank, slowly lower. Upward facing dog, if you want to add it, go for it. Exhale, back, downward dog. Step your right foot forward, coming into your twist. Right arm up, spread across chest and collarbone. Exhale the hand down. Step up to the front of your mat. Inhale, ride the breath, come up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Take the left foot back, keep the knee up, and come up into your lunge, but keep your hips really low. So the lower you are, the more it challenges your legs and you can reach more back through your back leg. Draw the lower belly in, lift the chest. Going into a twist here, take your left elbow to the right thigh. You can always put your back knee down. You can also open up the arms and do different variations here if you want, if you have a little more room to move. Release, hands down, step back, plank, lower. Low cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale back to downward dog. Left foot forward, get down low, hips the level of your knee if your knees allow. Now you have that strong reach back. You also have to bring your right hip a little more forward. Inhale, reach up. Stay low. And exhale into your twist, right elbow to the left thigh. Draw the shoulders down, open the chest. Release your hands down. Step up to the front of your mat. Inhale, come up. Exhale, hands to heart. We're going to move on, bend the knees, lower the hips. Inhale into chair pose. Exhale, fold. Fingertips on the shins or on the floor. Inhale. Step back to plank. You can take every one of these cobras, upward dogs, or skip some of them if you want. Exhale back to downward dog. Warrior two, step your right foot forward between your hands and come up into reverse warrior. So you'll find your warrior two first and then reverse warrior. Your top arm can be up and over by your ear. Your bottom arm can be supporting the lower back. Deep bend in the front knee. Line up your front heel with either the back arch or the back heel. You can also do a neck release and be in this shape if that feels good to you. Inhale, come up, straighten your front leg. You can bring your feet a little closer together. You can also use a block. Blocks are great. I like to put the block behind my shin and my hand there, but sometimes it feels better to put it in front. Up to you. Lift your shin up into your hand so that you're not pressing all your weight down onto your shin. Spread the collarbones. You can shift your gaze looking down or let your head hang or look upward. From here, you're going to rotate the hands down, turn all 10 toes, and fold forward from here. We're going to walk the hands to the left leg, back leg, hold on to it, and arc your right ribs into this side bend for a flank stretch. Release, walk your hands up to the front, step back, plank coming through cobra or upward facing dog. Really feel what's going to be the best for you. We're not doing back bends today. So this is your back bend moment if you want it. All right, second side, bring your left foot forward into warrior two for reverse warrior. Deepen the bend in the front knee. Really press into the outer edge of your back foot. Reach the left arm up and over by your ear or come into a neck release. Inhale, come up, straighten your front leg, heel toe the front foot back or the back foot forward, whatever works for you. And open up cross chest and collarbones. You can let your head hang. And exhale, release the hands down to the mat and walk your hands. Turn your toes so you line up your toes. They're on one imaginary line. And you're going to walk your hands back to your right leg. Hold on to it and arc the left ribs open. Releasing out of that, walk your hands back up to the front of your mat, and you'll step back and come down to all fours for dolphin pose. So coming down, forearms parallel. You're gonna press the earth away from you, let your head hang, relax your neck, tuck the toes, lift your hips up and back. So you have some options here. You can go ahead and take one leg up, 5 breaths each leg, up to 5 of your breaths. If you want to play with the advanced variation of dorsal fin, you have to go onto one arm first. So you're pressing, if you're coming with me on this journey, you're going to press your forearm forward and down, and only do this if it feels good in that shoulder. You have to get that rotation that we did in the turbo dog, squeezing the elbow in towards the midline, wrapping the shoulder blade away from the spine, and lifting up through the inner leg line. So from there, you might take your right leg up. So my left arm is up, my right leg is up, and I can maybe make the connection into that dorsal fin. Second side. If you're finishing up your dolphin, you can come down, you can take child's pose for a few breaths. If you're still with me, moving on to the second side, move left forearm forward and down, wrap that left shoulder, keep your neck relaxed, or maybe you can balance. Then bring the left leg up, right hand to left leg. Release out of that, and let's make our way to downward facing dog. All right, downward dog. Step your right foot forward into warrior one this time. And reach back and clasp your hands behind your back. Press more into the outer edge of the back foot to bring your left hip forward. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, fold forward. From here, release the hands to the mat, straighten the front leg, step the back foot forward. You could use your block or blocks, hands on the blocks, maybe up a little bit higher to draw the left hip back and to really accentuate the spine. If you're a little more flexible through the hamstrings, maybe the hands are down. And deepen your breath. From here, moving into your vertical split, you'll pick the back leg up. One or both knees can be really bent as you need it. You can play more with balancing. Like if you're not really, wanting the hamstring stretch today, that's not your jam. You want to feel into your strength and bend both knees and bring the hands to the heart. And you can make this kind of an interesting balancing pose. From here, we're going to step back, right back into downward facing dog. And you'll step your left foot forward between your hands. Come into warrior 1. Clasp your hands behind your back. Draw the left hip more back than the right. Keep pressing into the outer edge of the back foot. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, fold. Rolling out the shoulders and strongly breathing and feeling into what your hips are doing. You're drawing your left hip back. You're bringing your right hip more forward. Really press through the outer edge of your back leg. That back heel pressing into the mat. From here, straighten the front leg. You got pyramid pose. Your back foot can come forward, folding over the front leg. And next, making your way into vertical split or some variation of that. From there, step your feet together and come down into a squat malasana. So you have some options. You can stay here. My heels are up. I'm in a squat. Squatting is awesome. You can come into a side bend, going over to one side. We're going to go into twisting crow, maybe. So you could stay right here. Here's a side view. Stay here if you want. If you want to come into the arm balance, you're going to bring your leg, the outer right hip onto the right elbow and the outer right knee onto the left elbow and balance. And then maybe take your legs out. So the arms are in that kind of turbo position. Core is engaged. Think about your inner legs that you were squeezing that block with, because you need those inseams reaching out through the arches, and you spread open the toes and push through the balls of your feet. And then we'll go to the second side. So you can stay in any part of this that feels good to your body. And coming on out, let's make our way back to downward facing dog. We got one more little standing pose series to do. Step your right foot forward, come into warrior two, and arch your arms for this. So in this archer warrior two, your right foot is forward. Take your left elbow, bring the left elbow up, and open up the hips so you're squaring towards the side of your mat. And maybe you grab strap, towel, maybe you can bind. And then send the elbows away from each other and breathe into your whole side body on both sides. Actually breathe front, back, and sides of your ribs. Okay, you are more than welcome to stay right here. There's an option to fold forward from here. Just go straight ahead. Keep the legs in this position and relax your neck. If it's simply too much, but you like the fold, release the hands, let them go. Now release the hands, stay down. We're going into head to ankle prep. So for this one, your right hand's gonna go on your right thigh, tractioning it out in that direction of the knee, and your left hand comes back here. You might wanna block underneath this hand. So I'm leaning a little weight over to my left and then deepening the bend in my right knee and tractioning open that hip. A lot of this is like allowing and fine tuning. You can't just like muscle your way into your hips. You really have to find there's a equal press out as there is like a softening and allowing. Release out of that. Walk your hands up to the front of the mat. You might want your padding for your knees or fold over left side of the mat, going into quad stretch. If this is not good on your knees, stand up and balance on your right leg or hold a wall and take the quad stretch that way. Release. Let's wash that through with a vinyasa. So in the West, we've come to know vinyasa as chaturanga into upward facing dog or cobra. That's not necessarily what it means. Nyasa means a special way and ni means to place. And so vinyasa together is to place in a special way. So that's what we're doing. We place our body, our breath, our focus, our mind in a special way. That's what it means. All right, step your left foot forward into warrior two. And you're gonna take your right elbow is the top elbow. So the opposite elbow of the knee that's bent, basically. Feel into your legs, turn on that back leg. You are welcome to stay right here, or you can exhale, fold forward. Releasing out of that and going right into your head to ankle prep, drawing and tractioning out your left thigh, leaning out to the right. Walk your hands up to the front of your mat, pad your back knee. Step on back. We're going to take a little detour from here in between these postures. We're going into an arm balance called TT Basana. And I'll show you what it looks like, and then I'll give you more variations. If you know it, go ahead and come into it. You're gonna exhale, fold forward, walk your hands back so that the legs are on your triceps. You have to really get in there so that the legs can rest on your arms, and then you lift and come up. Okay, so that's that. You can just stay folded forward because that's great. You can also take your block and go close to a wall. You want to be like, I don't know, 6 to 8 inches away from the wall so that when you sit, your booty can go back and you've got space. So the block is not directly onto the wall. So here's your variation. This is a big hamstring stretch. One hand down and you lift the leg up. This is a bigger hamstring feel to me, I think, than the arm balance. So you're getting a feel for it and you're getting the big hamstring stretch. And also, you can get a feel for what this feels like and feel supported, because often we fall back on the butt in trying this. And the reason for that is that you're not properly really pulling the belly in, turning on the muscles of your abs and opening up your chest. So to combo everything that we've done, you've got the elbows bent in that turbo dog shape, turning on your chest muscles, opening up the hamstrings, turning on your core, and also drawing the belly in and up so that you get a whole lot lighter. I'm using my core now. Now I'm not. Now I am. Finish that up and let's meet in downward facing dog. Walk your hands together so your thumbs are touching. Then step your right foot to the outside of your right hand. All right, so you have some options here. You can pick your back heel up and put the knee down, or keep the knee up. You can come down onto a forearm. You can use blocks and come one forearm down at a time onto a block, or two, stack your blocks, back knee up or down. So really, you know, you get a lot out of having the leg up and the knee up because you can push back through that heel and then counter that by lengthening through the chest. When you lengthen in equal and opposite directions, it creates strength and stability like a bridge. It's an architectural term, tensility, that creates like incredible balance in the body. And that's actually what we do in a yoga practice, is everything has an equal and opposite force. That's yoga. That's yoga, which means union. So from here, we're going to go into whatever is your variation of head to ankle. So we did head to ankle prep. Now we're going to do head to ankle. You have to bring yourself back in so that your hips and your knee are the same level. So you're not here where my knee is higher than my hip. You see that? You want to be here. Hip and knee level, or maybe a little bit higher even, depending on your body. You're going to bring your right shoulder underneath that leg. So from this angle, it looks like this on me. From this angle, it looks like this. And then once you're there, like, why are we here? So you're here, you can get, this is probably a great stretch right here. If you need more, you're going to bring your head underneath. And that's head to ankle. So my head and my shoulder are now underneath. And then, like, if that is where you're at, that's where you're at. That's like, hang out there for 5 to 10 breaths. There are some other variations. One, you can come all the way down and clasp your hands behind your back. You can bend the knee and reach back for that leg. I don't know where it is. How close am I? Oh, there it is. All right. So wherever you are right now, just staying present and breathing, like, I'm in this crazy position and there's like so much struggle. So I'm just gonna shut up and let myself hang out and breathe here. Okay, you can come out of that. You can take scissors if you know it. There's a few of you that might want to take that, so I'm going to show it from this angle. If you're done, you can watch or go back in the downward facing dog. Right shoulder underneath right leg, left hand comes back. The elbow's going to bend, the hand's going to come in so that when I lay down, I can lay on that kickstand of my left elbow, and my hands, my legs are in a split. Like a split to the side, it's like a cheat. You don't really have to split. Let's go into downward facing dog. You can play with that if you want. Back to downward dog. Last set. Yeah, walk your hands together. Step your left foot forward. And then you can have your back knee up or down. You can use blocks to bring your forearms onto blocks or not. Oh, now you can see me. Awesome. So if you are moving from here, we're going to go into head to ankle. And that could be it, right? Like hanging out here, this is a lot. Back knee up is a lot. Coming down is a lot. Unwind. Make your way into scissors. If you want. All right. Okay, come on back into downward facing dog for breath. And make your way into child's pose. Sink your hips back to your heels, big toes touching, knees wide. Rest your forehead on your mat. All right, walk your hands in, come on up to a seat. So you have lots of options. One option is to take a wide-legged forward fold and hang out here. You can also come into elephant trunk or some variation thereof. So leg can come up onto the shoulder. If it gets that high, you have an opportunity to move forward, because otherwise the leg slips off. If you're down here, you might stay there. You might get more out of holding the leg. This is external rotation. This is more the hamstring if you want to do that. So elephant trunk, you can clamp down, take your top leg, you want to squeeze the calf muscle onto the arm and lift up. Okay, from there, cross the left leg over the right foot and shift, and you go to Ashtavakrasana. One of those. If you want to lift your body up and you have two blocks, this is a great way to practice. Just coming here, lifting up, pulling belly in. This is great. You can do it in half lotus. So those are options if you're not coming into these shenanigans. You have the option to just hold, get the hip opening, going into elephant trunk. So here's your, I guess, I don't know, this is like the elephant tusk, and then here's the trunk, and then cross. All right. You can take a few breaths here in Upavishta Konasana, the wide leg forward fold, and we'll walk it out. Let's turn to face whatever leg you want and fold out over that leg. You can turn this into a side bend. You can let your shoulder come inside, same shape that we've been doing. Maybe you can reach the foot. Let's come on up out of that. Use your top arm to lift you up. Face the other leg and fold out. Coming to the inside of the leg, your shoulder on the inside, reaching the top arm up and over. Use the top arm to lift yourself up. Help your legs together. And you're going to lay down on your back. We'll start with a twist. And we'll move From there towards final rest. So you get to come into twist of your choice.